and welcome to today's video. It is manga haul time. So today's manga haul is everything I picked up when I went to MCM London Comic Con May 2024. Now I picked up manga in a fair few different places. There were a number of stands at the con itself that were selling manga, and I also potentially stopped by Forbidden Planet on my way back to my hotel. I've grouped everything I've picked up based on where I picked it up, so usually I go through alphabetically. It's still kind of alphabetical, just within where I got it from, and I'll talk a bit about where I got it from. I do have a vlog incoming. I just did a lot of filming at the con and I've been a bit put off looking at the footage. It's going to take me a little bit of time to get through, hence why I'm putting my hauls up sooner than the vlog, but there is still going to be a vlog coming, so just keep an eye out for that. Just before we get into it, do remember to give this video a like and subscribe, and check out my channel memberships, 99p a month for early access to all my videos. I currently have like 5 videos up for members, and like I filmed I think 8 videos. I have a lot of editing to do. I'm hoping it's going to give me some nice leeway to film some like different types of videos that I've not filmed before. I'm quite excited for, but I think it'll take me a little bit more time to just generally prepare, film, edit and all that. And join the Dudette Discord, link found down below. Let's get into the manga. So the first one I have to show is Neighborhood Story Volume 2. I picked this up from Traveling Man. Yes, Traveling Man had a booth at MCM. In fact, they had a really big booth. They had so much manga. They had a lot of manga, and they had it like stacked like this, so spines facing up. It was very aesthetic and nice to look at. I dread to think how long it took them to sort, and they were constantly keeping it like fresh and up to date. They even had bins of sale manga, but I was daunted to look at it just in case I picked stuff up and I'd have to then carry it around. So I decided to pick this one up. It wasn't quite 3 for 2 prices. I'm not entirely sure exactly how the discount was, but there were discounts on the volumes. I think this one I paid about $14 or so, or $14.99 for it, which isn't too bad considering its RRP is now £20 basically. So I got 25% off, which isn't too bad still. I do love how vibrant they are. I do need to read these. I still not read my volume 1. But Traveling Man stand was excellent. Highly recommend if you go to another MCM, because I think they've been at the last couple now. Hopefully they'll be at the next one too. The next stand I hit was the Yen Press stand. So Yen Press and Kodansha shared, like, they kind of had a shared booth where one side was Yen Press, one side was Kodansha. I'll show you what I picked up on the Kodansha side in just a moment. I went for 4 Ise Press volumes on the Yen Press side. They were doing a 4 for 3 promotion, which again isn't quite as good as 3 for 2, but I was kind of excited to grab some Ise Press new stuff. Business Proposal Volume 5. I realised after getting home I've not read my Volume 4 of this, so Volume 4 went straight into my basket so I could catch up. Unholy Blood Volume 2, which I was sent Volume 1 not too long ago by Easy Press, and I really enjoyed it. It was better than I was expecting it to be, which is nice, and also vampires, which is fun. Villainess Turns the Hourglass Volume 3. I do love a good villainess story. This one isn't an isekai, it's just a back in time, and I am enjoying that she's like properly got like a whole revenge arc going. I know some people are like, oh, I hate it when they get all angry and revengey, and I feel like a lot of the time they ending up being a really nice person, but she is like really properly manipulative still, and I'm enjoying that. Also very pretty. And then What's Wrong with Secretary Kim Volume 4. I felt like this volume, because I've read this one as well, I felt like this volume, like, we had so much progression and answers to questions and all sorts, and I was kind of unexpecting it. There was a lot happened quite quickly and lots of answers answered. And I believe, looking it up, there's going to be another 2 of these, maybe 5 and 6 from where I saw. So it's actually not too much left, but that's still 2 more volumes of story. I'm not quite sure what's going to happen in those ones, but I really enjoyed it. A lot. As well as that, I also got this Yen Press tote bag, so I got all the volumes put in this. I am a big sucker for tote bags because I eat through them, and also my mother nicks them. She does. She's gonna say I nick hers, but it's not true. She nicks mine. So I really do love a sturdy tote bag because I use these when I go manga shopping. I actually packed like 3 of these when I went to MCM, thinking anything I picked up I could put in them, and I very much needed them a lot. I'm very glad I did pack them. So I got a Yen Press one. I do love having publisher ones. It's just nice. I also got a whole bunch of bookmarks because I saw them there and I was like, can I have some bookmarks? And the guy handed me a whole lot. So I think I've got a whole bunch of omniscient viewers, readers' viewpoint bookmarks, and they're quite nice and shiny and got a bit of information about the series on the back, and some bookmarks of The Summer Hikaru Died, also quite nice, with a bit of info on the back. I'm gonna probably try and give out a bunch of these maybe in the Discord server or something, because I know there are a lot of fans of this series in there. So on the Kodansha booth, it was the exact same deal, buy 4 get 1 free, 3 for 4 basically. Got Witch Hat Atelier Kitchen Volume 3. I was slightly hoping to see Witch Hat Atelier 12 because it had just come out, but they didn't have too many like new releases unless it was like a volume 1 or the series wasn't too long, which is, to be fair, completely understandable because I don't feel like their target audience was exactly people who are up to date with a lot of their series. It was trying to tempt people to try series instead. Completely understand. But they had volume 3 of this, which was new, so happy to pick it up. I do love Witch Hat Atelier. Then we have, turns out my online friend is my real life boss, and I believe this is it a one shot? I know it says 1. This is a newish release and perfect timing for Pride Month. I'm going to try and read this month. I like that it's kind of chunky. It reminds me of BL Manboob's Thickness, which was also by Kodansha. My Lovesick Life as a 90s Otaku Volume 2. I did think I kind of liked Volume 1. It was a bit cringy, but I feel like that is almost a given. I don't believe it's even a very long series. I want to say completed like 4 or something, maybe. And then finally, I picked up I See Your Face Turned Away. Is this a volume 1? It is a volume 1. Also a vague-ish new release. I picked this up because Liddy kind of put it in my hands and I was trying to find one more volume to do my 4 for 3, maybe. She was like, you can read it as well, see what you think. And I was like, oh, okay. No idea what it's about in the slightest. It says from the creator of My Sweet Girl, but I don't know what My Sweet Girl is either. Okay, the next booth I hit up was, I need to go and check the exact name because I can't remember off the top of my head, but they were a publisher and they had a variety of like Kodansha stuff, Square Enix, Vertical. I'm not too sure. I was wondering if like in a similar way to like Hatchet Publishing publishes Yen Press books, like does the actual publishing. I wonder if this place did a lot of the publishing for these kind of books, because it was like, I know what you're producing, but I don't know your name. But they had a lot of stuff. They had a lot of stuff that hadn't actually been released as of yet when I attended MCM. So I picked up volumes 7 and 8 of Welcome to the Demon School of Rumicon because I really like the series, and they had 8, which I believe, and they kept telling me that it was not out yet, and I realized that I had not yet picked up my volume 7. They were very kind on the booth, and they gave me also a bunch of Demon School stuff, like we got some bookmarks of the main 3 characters, also nice and double-sided. Also a lanyard. I can't remember if I only grabbed one of these or a couple, but a lanyard for Demon School as well. And some badges of the 3 characters. Again, I think I only picked up one of each. I was feeling guilty to grab much more than that. I think I only grabbed one of each. So this stand was offering 20% off the RRP, which I think worked out about £10 per volume, I want to say. So not cheaper than 3 for 2 once again, but it was kind of neat to be able to go to the stand and get some swag and talk to the people who worked there. That was nice. And I realized I had some other bookmarks I forgot to show you. I got some more at the Kodansha stand. They're very tall bookmarks, and so I got some Sign of Affection ones, some Parasite ones, and then they had some dinkier ones, so one for Blue Lock. These are really thick, by the way. I'm wondering, like, are they too thick for a bookmark? But they're sturdy. I don't think they'll bend. It's another worry of mine. Like, I don't like when my bookmarks bend super easily, because I'm not like always the most careful, especially when they're in my basket. So I like a sturdy one. So there's Blue Lock. I got a couple of Initial D and a couple of Vinland Saga. I would happily give more of these away, but sometimes I think it's just a bit too faffy to give away like individual bookmarks, especially paying postage and all that. Maybe if you happen to win one of my other giveaways, I can throw in some bookmarks. Don't know yet. Okay, the last stand I hit at MCM was the Viz stand. Viz had a stand, which was really neat, and I think I wasn't quite expecting Viz to have a stand. I'm not sure if it was like part of the Forbidden Planet booth, because the person manning the till on the Viz stand was wearing a Forbidden Planet t-shirt. I don't know if they'd like just sectioned off a little bit, but it wasn't like too close. You did have to cross across a pathway to get between them. Don't know, either way, they were actually doing 3 for 2 on everything, so I was very happy to go and try and grab some new releases. So I grabbed Tamon's B-Side Volume 3 as I'm on my Idol series binge for some reason. Spy Family 11, which, I mean, Spy Family is excellent, I love it, Ben loves it, so it's nice to get another one. And Frieren 10. I remember we were there and Lydia was like, I can't believe you don't have Frieren 10 yet. And it's like, I'm very cheap. I've not seen it cheap enough. And finally I could get it in a 3 for 2. So Frieren 10. And then they also gave me this when I was checking out, which I thought was quite neat. It is a manga sampler for 2023. And it is just a splattering of chapters that they were showcasing in their new releases in 2023. I don't know if maybe they were trying to like get rid of some of these and that's why they were giving out 2023 ones over like 2024 ones. I don't know how the dating works, the date system. So we've got Akane Banashi, Cat-Eyed Boy, Insomniacs After School, My Special One, Until I Love Myself, Wolf Girl and Black Prince, and Some 100, and Ayashimon. So I think the only series on there that I'm not collecting is Cat-Eyed Boy, which I understand is kind of horror-y, and that is this one, but I am collecting the rest of them. So this is more just sort of a nice collector's piece in my opinion, that it's nice to have. If it turns out there's a lot of them, I don't think I'm going to go out of my way to spend money or crazy amounts of money to collect some of the other ones if there are other ones, but it was a neat thing to get, so I was quite pleased with that. Got to show some of my other tote bags. I did get some other tote bags at the Kodansha stand. I got this Kodansha X Yen Press one, which, yep, happy with that. A just regular Kodansha one as well. And then at the Viz stand, this one is like a bit more like plasticky, this bag. I got a Viz one as well, and then on the other side it has some Death Note artwork, because they were selling like special edition of volume 1 of Death Note. I'm not particularly fussed about Death Note enough to be able to have other variants of volume 1, so I skipped it myself, but did manage to get another bag, which is kind of neat. Got a Yen Press one, I've got a Kodansha one, a Yen Ise one, well, a Yen Ise, Yen Kodansha. I have some Ise Press ones that they've sent me before. I have a Viz one. I need a 7 Seas, I need an Udon, a J Novel Club. I'm going to try and collect publisher tote bags. So that is everything I picked up at MCM Comic Con. Now we move on to Forbidden Planet. So I have stacked my stacks of pickups into 2. We've got stuff I picked up in the sale section and stuff I picked up in a 3 for 2. We will go through the sale section stuff first. I just wish to preface as well that being in the sale section with Liddy, I keep joking about her being an enabler, but it did feel like I had my own personal shopper. I had, during the week before MCM, shared my public most up-to-date manga spreadsheet, so she had a vague idea of stuff I had and stuff I didn't have, and she very much helped me fill my basket, going, you don't have this, here you go, you don't have this, here you go. And I'm like, oh dear, okay. I almost didn't even have to look at my spreadsheet because I had Liddy with me. 10 out of 10 would recommend Liddy as a personal shopper again, if your wallet can handle it. First thing I picked up in the sales section was Age Matters Volume 1, and I got it for $8.99, which is pretty good for a webtoon. I would say even in a 3 for 2, I'm lucky if I'm spending about £15 or so. It's never below 10. I don't see particularly the issue, so I assume it just didn't sell well. I keep falling behind on webtoon stuff because it's just much more pricey and I'm way too cheap. And I'm now starting to see them pop up in secondhand or sale sections, so I might just leave picking them up for that then. Duke of Death and his Maid Volume 9 for $4.99. It just is a lot of $4.99 in the sale section, okay? I think I'm pretty much only picking this series up in Forbidden Planet sale sections at the moment. They did also have Volume 10, but it was $6.99, and I'm like, no, that's not quite cheap enough for me. I will get to reading it. I hear a lot of people say the anime is good as well. Faded Away, Volume 1? Or is it a one-shot? It does have a 1 on it. And I was actually kind of surprised and excited to see a publisher that I don't recognise, Rocket Ship. think this is Rocket Ship. Rocket Ship. So I'm assuming this is a new publisher. I think this is a manhwa. I think Lydia had been talking to me about this series at MCM and I was like, I have not a clue what you're talking about. And then I picked this up like, oh, this looks neat. And she was like, I was telling you about this. And I went, oh, okay. $9.99 isn't too bad. What's its RRP? It was $16.99 and that's just a faffy price to try and make a 3 for 2 with. So, yep, I grabbed it. It is heavier. I'll find out what it's about. Failure Frame Volume 7, again, for $4.99. It is a average isekai. I think I narrowed the gap. I think I only have 1 to 4. I know a lot of people do like it, but I don't think it's that amazing. So hence, I'm going to buy it secondhand or in sale sections. Real Life Fantasy Online Immortal Princess, Volume 6 for $4.99. I actually really loved Volume 1 of this. It is like a video game isekai. I really loved Volume 1 and then Volume 2 was so boring. I was so upset. I'll get back into it at some point and hopefully it goes back to being really fun and interesting, but unfortunately I think I really enjoyed it when she was like on her own as a character in the game, and then she's not on her own anymore in the game, so it probably won't. Has the light novel? I think Ben's enjoyed the light novel. Maybe it's less weird in the light novel. Game of Familiar 2 for $5.99. It's that plastic wrap. You gotta pay an extra £1 or so for the plastic wrap. I have not read my Volume 1 yet. I believe it's an isekai and it's plastic wrapped. That's the extent of my knowledge. Malevolent Spirits Mononogatari Volume 5. Another series where I seem to keep picking them up in the Forbidden Planet sale section. This was $6.99 though. I did, yes, push the budget a little. This was originally $12.99, so it was about half-ish price. I can't imagine it's too amazing. I love the colour on some of the volumes. Especially there's like a pale pink one. It's so nice. Mushoku Tensei Rock to Get Serious 10 for $4.99. It is a spin-off series from the main series. I still have only got the first 3 volumes of the main series, so I have a long way to go. But spin-offs tend to be a bit trickier to find, so happy to grab them when I see them, especially on sale, and I'll just piece it together eventually. My instant death ability is so overpowered, no one in this other world stands a chance against me. 2 and 3. I made a little bit of a mistake on this one. One was $5.99, one was $4.99. I'd gotten a bit confused because I know I had accidentally picked one of these up and I got the light novel instead of the manga. I thought it was Volume 3 and I needed 2 and 3. It turns out no, I do have 3, I needed 2. So I have accidentally picked up a duplicate of 3. No worries, I'll just add it to my swaps pile. I do have a swaps trade pile that I use when I want to trade with people. If I see something that someone's got on theirs that I fancy, I'll share mine and I'll throw it on that. Reincarnated as a Dragon Hatchling Volume 5 for $5.99. This one actually I was slightly excited to see because I have quite enjoyed this isekai, and this is the next volume that I needed to continue the series, which is always a really good feeling, is finding the next one that you need but it's on sale and you can just sort of, yeah, okay, what does this say about my favourite kind of series? Oh well, doesn't matter. It is kind of like Soma Spider So What, but not as good, with the whole like gaining XP and moving down like a growth tree kind of deal. But they're a dragon instead of being a spider. If you're into that kind of thing, you might enjoy this. Also, again, has a light novel. What isekai doesn't have a light novel? There are not many. Restorer's Home Volume 2. This one was $7.99, which is a little bit more pricey, but it is also a bit more of a pricey volume anyway. That RRP says $17.99. Not read my Volume 1 yet. Apparently it is really, really adorable. I just not yet gotten to it. It is not colour, but it is like heavy, stiff pages published by Ablaze Manga. They tend to I feel like they're the two ends of the spectrum. They're either quite a bit lower or quite a bit higher. And in the same vein, next we have Savage Garden Volume 1, picked up at $9.99. I don't see a price on the back. This one I actually had cancelled. I thought I already had it, but no, in fact I had just cancelled the order and I'd forgotten to pick it up again. So it was really nice to be able to change one of my slots on my spreadsheet from cancelled to unread, because I now have it again. I haven't actually heard much talk about this one, so I feel like I'm once again going a bit blind with this. Next we have Sky Grazer, and I feel like this might be a one-shot. It was $5.99. It says it was damaged, but I have not yet actually seen any damage on this volume, unless it means like this little bend here, but that might have just been me, to be honest. Yep, I think it's a one-shot published by Kodansha, but it's kind of like vertical sizing, I want to say. And then I'm going in completely blind on this one. Trapped in a dating sim, the world of otome games is tough for mobs. Volume 9 for $4.99. Yeah, I think since volume 4, I've picked up every volume of this that I have in Forbidden Planet sales section. I really like it. It's not an amazing isekai, but I really enjoy it. Ben's really enjoyed the light novels because it's like otome dating sim meets mecha fighting battles. It's very dumb and silly and over the top. And I do quite like it, and it's just really nice. I have literally, like, every other time I go in, I can get the new release of this because it's just always in the sale section. I'm not even sure what volume's currently out. Maybe 9 is the latest. Maybe they just get them in and put them straight in the sale section, but there is always the latest volume of this that I need in the sales section. It makes me very happy. As we have Twilight in Focus 4, and this was $4.99. It is plastic wrapped. I want to say it's vaguely newish, based on something I saw at MCM, but I think I saw someone say that this was like a newest release, but I'm not too sure. I'd gotten a bit confused. I thought Twilight Out of Focus, apologies, was a one-shot, but it's not because I've got volume 4. So I don't need to find 2 and 3, but I picked up my volume 1 secondhand and now I've got this one for $4.99, so I'll need to find them cheap to be happy. Tying the knot with the Amagami Sister, volume 2 for $5.99. I've not read my volume 1 yet. I don't think it's been out too long, a few months maybe. I think volume 1 came out. I think there's at least 3, maybe 4 volumes of this, but if they're going to start appearing in sale sections once again, I'm going to wait and pick them up there. Next volume is Wave Listen to Me, volume 10 for $4.99. I think I picked up volume 9 at like the last Travelling Man Warehouse sale for £4. I seem to be finding this series a lot. It's just like odd volumes. There was only 1 volume of this in the sale section. So yeah, I think most of my volumes of this series have been sale or secondhand now. So it's another one where I'm not rushing to pick it up as it comes out. I'm also very behind on reading it. I think I only got like 2 volumes in, maybe. I know it has a bit of a fan following, which also has slightly put me off reading more because they've gotten a bit aggressive at me before when I've said like not great things, like on Instagram. Next we have Wind Waker, oh my gosh, Zelda's on the mind. Windbreaker 3 for $6.99. I had absolutely no choice in picking this up whatsoever because Liddy has read some of her volumes recently and absolutely adores it. She loves the series and has like, Caitlin, if we see any in the sale section, you're picking them up. I don't even think I'd gotten to the sale section before she'd found it and put it in my basket. Here it is. I am missing volume 2 and then any after 3. I only have 1 and 3. I'll wait till I have 2 and then I'll read it. I promise, Liddy, I promise. Last manga that I picked up in the sales section was, I was going to show you the price before the title, Yokohama Station, is it just called Yokohama Station? Yokohama Station SF3, and this is the final volume, I think, in the series. It is only a 3-volume series. It's a bit chunkier compared to the other ones, but again, $4.99. Very mixed opinions on the series that I have seen across social medias. I kind of like the sound of the premise, so I just hope it gets executed well, I guess. I don't think I have volume 2, but so I'll try and get that and then read them together, because I tend to enjoy binging short series. Anything under 5 volumes, if it's already out, I'll try and wait till I have them all to read them together. Okay, then we have a few light novels that I picked up for Ben. We have Holo Regalia 3 for $6.99, and it is a nice orange colour. So volume 1 was a red colour and sent to me by Yen Press. Like, I think it was my very first ever Yen Press box. They sent me volume 1 of this, and Ben quite enjoyed it, so it was nice to be able to get another one and in the sales section, but we do need to track down volume 2. And then also grabbed in volumes 5 and 6 of Though I Am an Inept Villainess, Tales of the Butterfly Rat Body Swap in the Maiden Court. 5 and 6. I think he has 1 and 2, so he does have a gap needing 3 and 4. But they are nice and chunky. Airship, 7 Seas titles, $6.99 each is not bad. Very pleased. Okay, that is all the sale stuff. Now we're onto the stuff I got in a 3 for 2. So it had been actually quite a while since I'd picked up any Viz series, so I did go into Forbidden Planet expecting to pick up a swathe of Viz, and that is exactly what I did. First one I picked up was Black Clover Volume 35 5. I actually had taken 34 with me to read in London and didn't get round to it. I would say I'm a volume or two behind on a lot of Viz series that I tend to like to stay up to date with, just because I've really struggled with reading the past couple of months for a multitude of reasons, mostly personal reasons. But I've been really gunning reading the past couple of weeks, and I'm hoping to try and binge through some of my Shonen Jump especially, because I find that these are really good to read a few volumes together as well. So I'm slightly looking forward to actually having a chunk of series to read. Next we have A Cat from Our World and the Forgotten Witch 2. I really quite liked volume 1. It was very cute, if a bit sad. I got a little weepy, but I enjoy cat themed series, and the cat being massive cuddly teddy bear is absolutely adorable. I love it. I really love the colour scheme as well. Volume 1 was nice and minty, and this one's a nice pale pink. Demon Slayer Kimetsu Academy Volume 2. This is like a chibi SD style spin-off from the main series of Demon Slayer. Naruto's had some. There's been some, like, I think ReZero's had some. There's Isekai Quartet. I absolutely adore them. Actually, Assassination Classrooms had an excellent one. I really, really love them, and I love them both in manga and anime format. I love them both. I haven't read my volume 1 of this, but I probably will enjoy it because they're just lovely, light-hearted, silly, and funny. Next we have Disney Mirrorverse Belle. I mean, if it might not be too obvious, my favourite Disney movie, Disney princess, is Belle / Beauty and the Beast, because have you seen that library? And the number of times people are like, have you thought about putting a ladder in like Belle? Yes, I have thought about that, but the current setup does not allow me to do that, okay? But if I could, I would, I promise. I believe this is kind of slightly based on a mobile game, but beyond that, no idea in the slightest, except how very happy to see Belle, and I couldn't wait to read it. Next we have Hiroyasumi Volume 1, which is a fairly new release from Viz. Don't know really anything about it. I'm gonna assume slice of life. Yeah, I think it is slice of life, but beyond that, completely unknown on it. It was another one Liddy was like, here, get it. I was like, okay. Next we have Jujutsu Kaisen 22. Still very behind on this, but staying up to date with collecting it. I think I'm starting to get daunted, not because of how many volumes I have to read, but because of the community. I feel there are a number of series where I feel like if I wasn't already in it and reading it, I would have been scared off by the community. For example, My Hero Academia. Jujutsu Kaisen and Chainsaw Man are fortunately also falling into that. I'm trying to just like get over it and at some point just read it. It's tricky. It's tricky. Next we have Kaguya-sama Love is War 28 and the final volume of the series. My heart is slightly breaking considering I've been reading this for so long. I want to say 7 years, maybe longer. There was only like 3 or 4 volumes out or something when I started this series, and I can't believe it's complete. There are not many series now that are still ongoing from before I started making manga content. A lot of them are wrapped. One of the only ones I can think of really is One Piece. So there are some emotions with this. I specifically held off reading my 27 to read 27 and 28 together. Yeah, I don't know how to feel. Sad? Happy? More sad. Next we have Kakuriko 9. That is a painfully thin volume. I am personally not reading my volumes of this yet because just they're so short and I don't remember what happened. I basically get to the end of the volume and remember what was happening, and then I have to wait another year or so because this does not release particularly often. So I haven't read volume 8 and I'm not going to read my volume 9. I don't know how many I'm going to store up before I read it, preferably until it's complete, but I don't think there's any signs of it completing yet. This actually was a series I think I started picking up before manga content, and I'd really enjoyed. I think it was like 1 to 5, and then I was like, where's the next one? Oh, no release date. Oh no. So yeah, I'm not too sure what to do with this one just yet, but I'm not reading it straight away, I know that. Like a Butterfly 6. I can't believe we're on 6, so behind on this one. I did quite like volume 1. I don't think it was like groundbreaking, but it was quite nice. I feel quite polarizing opinions on the author's other work. So I want to read more of this to see like where does my opinion lie on this one, or is this one just like true middle ground? My sister took my fiance and now I'm being courted by a beastly prince, so I didn't take the sticker off. Volume 1, but I have read it. I read it on the train. This was fine. I'd say a 6 out of 10 maybe. This girl's sister keeps nicking her fiancés and she's kind of given up on ever trying to find one of her own. And she ends up somehow catching the eye of the prince. He's taken a liking to her for some reason. It's quite nice if you like that kind of period-themed romance-ish with some supernatural elements, but I wouldn't say it's like groundbreaking in any particular way. My special one, 6, another one which is feeding my idle seeming problem for some reason. I don't know where it's come from at all. I do like this one and Tamon, and there's another one. There's like 3 of them. And I'm like, oh. One Punch Man 28. I don't know why, but for some reason I don't have 26. So I need to go and pick that up next time I go manga shopping. I mean, I love One Punch Man. There was a bit of a hiatus, I think, for a year or 2. I think the mangaka went on hiatus, which obviously means that English prints also go on hiatus. I believe they're coming back and they're more regular now, because I got 27 not too long ago, which is nice because I kind of stopped. I don't think I read the last volume I had before it went on hiatus, because this is another series I feel like if you leave too big a gap it gets confusing. So I might again read a bunch of these together. Record of Ragnarok 10. I mean, I just love seeing people wail on each other and learning a whole bunch about historical figures and stuff, mythology and all that. How accurate all the historical stuff is, I am absolutely taken with a pinch of salt, a whole damn salt shaker, but it's still fun. It's just beaty up, smacky face fun. Skip and Loafer 9. 8 properly wrecked me emotionally, so I've been really waiting and looking forward to Volume 9. Volume 9 was actually in my manga basket and I have taken it out for the video, but it's going straight back in after this. I just love it. I love it so much. It's such a good series, highly recommend. Look at that watermelon theming as well. Skip Beat 49. I don't think I was going to have been allowed to leave Forbidden Planet if I didn't pick this up. This was one that I don't even know where it was in store. Liddy came and put it in my basket for me once again. I have managed to track down. Liddy sent me a link for the volume I was missing to have a clear run. So fingers crossed by like tomorrow, I think, I should have a complete clear run of Skip Beat of 1 to 49, and now to actually read it. Maybe Lydia will do a read along with me. Maybe some other people will be interested in the server as well. I don't like how thin they're getting, but I do think that seems to be more of a Skip Beat thing, not Skip Beat, Shoujo Beat thing, not just a Skip Beat. I picked up Snowball Earth Volume 1, which I believe is a new release from Viz. Again, know nothing about it, except I was like, ooh, I need something for this price bracket. This looks like Viz, and I don't own it, so I grabbed it. I was going to say, is it about snowboarding or something? It looks like it's to do with a war. That's not sport. Next, we have Star Wars Visions. I don't know if this is the first one or this is the only one. Star Wars Visions, which I need to take a sticker off because I have read it. This is based off the Star Wars Visions anime show that appeared on Disney+. Inside there are 4 stories based on 4 of the episodes. It pretty much just follows the stories. There isn't anything really extra to them. However, what I do think is neat is the people who drew each of the stories. I was quite surprised to see in the back. So the first story, which is I think The Elder, is drawn by the Witch Hat Atelier mangaka. The next one is by someone who has done other Star Wars themed manga, such as the Leia manga and a Luke Skywalker one. The next one is the one who does Mandalorian, and then the last one is by Little Witch Academia. So it's kind of neat looking at that and being like, I actually know or own all of those different series, especially the Witch Atelier one caught me by surprise, but actually flipping through at the first story, you're like, well, yeah, especially looking at those characters, you're like, that very much does look like Witch Atelier characters, doesn't it? But they're Jedi. So yeah, the 4 stories in here are The Elder, Lop and Ocho, The Ninth Jedi, and The Twins. Now, personally, as someone who did also watch Visions, the series, I think some of them work better as an anime, especially the Twins episode, which is a big, over-the-top, aggressive fight sequence by, I think Ben said Studio Trigger. I think that one worked a lot better as an episode to watch over reading it. If you're a Star Wars fan, you might still enjoy it. I didn't particularly find it like arduous to read or anything, but I already knew the stories, so True Love fades away when the contract ends, volume 1. I have also read this one. I was like on a period romance binge, I think, on my train ride home from London. Again, this one was okay. I would not rank it particularly highly. I would say if you are potentially interested, I would recommend finding it on sale or secondhand. Basically, this woman is being forced into an arranged marriage by her family, but she just wants to keep working because the expectation is once she's married, she'll quit her job, and she's like, I don't want to do that. She also just isn't particularly interested in romance or children as of yet, and she accidentally happens upon a guy who actually has very similar feelings, not interested in marriage, just wants to kind of keep going along and doing his own thing. And then a friend of his suggests, why don't you two get married, because you can just have it as like an appearances kind of marriage and continue doing whatever you fancy. And of course, because it's manga and that sort of thing, it turns out they might actually have some slight feelings for each other. Who would have guessed? If you like that kind of thing, you'll probably like this series. If you're not too fussed or you like a bit more substance, probably not for you. Wolf Girl and Black Prince 7. I was gonna say my secret shame, but I would probably say that my Faku is my secret shame. But I almost feel like I feel more shame enjoying the toxicity more than that for some reason. I adore this series because I just love how terrible the characters are. Sometimes I just find it really dull reading a series where everyone's really nice and squeaky clean, and like the worst thing you get is miscommunication, because I hate miscommunication. Whereas in this, they're all just terrible people. I suppose that there is slight miscommunication in that they don't know how to communicate feelings and stuff and how to express it to each other. But I do love a hot red flag mess on occasion. I have 6 and 7 of this to read to get back up to date. I have enjoyed reading a bunch of these volumes together though. Next we have Yona of the Dawn 41. I believe this is keeping me up to date with the series. I still need to start reading it. I'm sorry, okay? I'll probably do Skip Beat before I do Yona at this rate. I was going to try and do a volume a week of Yona, and I've just completely failed. I have failed this year at reading. It's been my biggest failure this year, is reading. I mean, I want to try and do better in the second half, or just write it off and do better in 2025. I don't know yet. But staying up to date is nice to see. I read somewhere, I think someone posted a link in the server, that it's in its final arc. So that might be nice once it's complete to read it. You and I are Polar Opposites 1, which is a new release from Viz. It is Shonen Jump. I don't know anything about it. I like the colouring on the front. I like it's pink and green. I love pink and green together for some reason. So that is really nice to look at. Final new release I picked up was Zom 114. I did realise when I got home that I don't have 13 because I'm not mostly rushing to pick this series up. But picking this up meant I could do a nice 3 for 2 in this price bracket. I am not massively blown away with Zom 100 because I'm not a massive zombie fan, but I am a glutton for Rainbow Spines. Absolute. Final things I picked up, and they were not manga, they were light novels for Ben, was 7 and 8 of Reborn as a Space Mercenary. It is, I think, probably one of his favourite light novels. It's up there, at least, with Overlord, and he did not have 7 or 8, so I grabbed them for him because he was just so supportive and helpful while I was away and getting me ready to go away to MCM because he was unable to attend with me. So I went on my own, and it was just really helpful and kind. I was like, I'll bring you a present of some light novels, and he was like, thank you. I've said he can't have these till I film this video, so he's been like pushing me to try and film, which is also good, I suppose, because it's always good to get ahead on your recording and all that. That was all my pickups from my trip to London for MCM Comic Con May 2024. Did I pick up more than I thought I would? A little bit, but I also knew I was going manga shopping with both Liddy and Tiffany, and I'm very easily influenced. And there was so much in the sale section. Actually, to be fair, there was just a lot more manga at Comic-Con than I expected. I mean, how many did I walk away with? It was like less than 15. It was over 10 volumes at least. I genuinely did not expect to walk away with that many because there were just more stands than I expected. But I absolutely had a great time, and I'm so happy with this haul. There was so much new stuff, so much Viz stuff. Very happy, as is Ben with his light novels. Joking aside, I did have an absolutely amazing time going manga shopping with Liddy and Tiffany at Forbidden Planet. I really hope they'd be up for doing it again, because I certainly will be. Maybe have to let my wallet recover a little bit, please. Please, for the love of God, please. Remember to like the video and subscribe, and check out my channel memberships for early access to my videos and the Dude at Discord server, linked down there somewhere. Otherwise, I hope you have the most amazing day, and I will see you next time. Bye bye!